What's up, Artist Gang? It's your girl, Nisha.
It's your boy, Marcus.
And in this video, we're going to talk about how it is having twins.
Yep.
As you guys know, we have identical twins, Hassan and Zion. And in this video, we're just going to tell you guys a little bit about how it is to have twins.
Okay.
You want to start?
You can start.
Of course, you know, having twins, they definitely keep us on our toes. I mean, these boys are busy, and now that they're 1 year old, I just feel like they're even more busy. I mean, you know, they're walking, they're running away from you. Mm-hmm. They're definitely keeping us on our toes, and they're eating more too.
Yeah, they just started eating more this past week.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's like we feed them the bottle, then they turn around, they're eating baby food with cereal, then they turn around and eat snacks. It's just like all day long, they're just eating and growing.
Right.
And diapers, of course.
Oh man, diapers
are very expensive.
Right.
Before they were born,
it's expensive for one baby. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yes.
It's expensive for one baby, so imagine two. You know, that's crazy.
Before they were born, we thought about doing cloth diapers. That probably lasted about 2 days.
It's not
and
easy.
We went right back to disposable because I feel like it's more work.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you got to put the liner in the inside. Then you have to take when they mess it up, you have to wash it. Then you have to dry it. Then you have to fold it. Put all the inserts back inside.
Even when it comes to food, you know, milk.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're feeding 2 times.
Every time I go to the store, guys, I probably go to the store every other day, and I'm buying 3 gallons of almond milk.
Yes.
Like, literally, I just went today and bought a whole bunch of baby food, whole bunch of cereal. Actually, I bought them some baby yogurt today, and 3 gallons of almond milk. I mean, they go through it like, and then have it. It's not even enough. When you give them the bottle, they cry for baby food. I'm like, ooh.
And on top of that, you know, let's bring it back to when we first brought them home. Mm-hmm. You know, they was waking us up. You know what's crazy? When Amir was a baby, he woke us up more than the twins.
That's because Amir had GERD.
Oh yeah.
So he couldn't keep anything on his stomach.
Yeah.
He was literally
waking up every hour.
Every single hour, because every time he would drink his bottle, he'll throw it right back up. So his stomach was always empty.
Babies, they had like a light version of GERD, like a little light version. You remember?
Probably because they were preemies.
Yeah.
But yeah, they you know, when we brought them home, like he said, you were just like juggling the two, you know, and he worked at the time, so I was the one basically getting up with him. He would get up sometime too, but it's just me trying to make the bottles, trying to get one to sleep. And one thing about our twins, during the day, they 9 times out of 10 they do not sleep at the same time. So you have one waking the other one up, or either like one to go to sleep, then the other one to wake up. Right. So at night, that's the only time that they sleep at the same time.
Right.
Or unless they're really tired. And then
so it's hard to get a break because when you try to get both of them to go to sleep, one will go to sleep, but the other one will be up.
Right.
You know?
And then they're still sharing like the same bed. You know, I don't know, like I feel bad about like kind of separating them being identical twins. I mean, some people do separate them, but for us, our twins aren't separated. So you know,
I think them being identical twins, it's good for them to be close to each other.
That's how I feel too.
And they're used to that. You know, they're used to being close to each other. And that's another funny thing. If you let one out the crib, the other one's going to start fussing and want to get out too.
And they'll
you know, and then as soon as you put them on the ground, both of them take off running. You know?
But that's something about like separating them. It was kind of hard for us because Zion was in the NICU for 2 months. Hassan was in there for 1. So for literally a month, they were separated because it was flu season and kids couldn't go to the hospital. So it was just only the parents that could go. And I felt like we thought that separating them for that little bit of time was going to basically interact. But no, as soon as they got back together.
Even when they was first born, Hassan went up to the NICU first, and Zion had to stay on the 3rd floor, which was, what was that floor?
I forgot.
Yeah,
because he was so small.
Right, he had to stay on that floor for a couple of days longer, you know, than Hassan did. But you know, it was a blessing that we was able to get a bigger room so they both could be in the same room side by side. You know, that was a blessing.
And then they were both in, of course, the incubator separately. So we thought that, our family thought that it wasn't really us, but
we had to let them know. Like, we agree with y'all. We agree that they should be together, because they was like, oh, they need to be together. You know, make sure they're together.
But they can't, because they had tubes. Like, if you work in a hospital, you know that you can't have two people together. The tubes, and then they're trying to grow, and then they're trying to get strong, and then one could get hurt. You know, so you can't do that.
But, you know, like we said, even in the incubators, you know, they was able to be side by side in the incubators, you know.
But we ran into a lot of different twins, and they always told us that no matter the mouths, the relationship is still as tight. Yeah,
they still feel each other and stuff. Another crazy thing about them, like, you know, when you tap their little hand, sometimes when they act up, you give them a little tap on their hand. The other one would start crying.
Yeah, we were like, boy, nothing even happened to you. Exactly. Or one fall or something. It's like I ask people this a lot, because, like, do you feel the same pain? Because obviously, you know, it seems like they feel the same pain.
And if one start laughing, the other one will start laughing. Like, I'll be tickling Zion, and Hassan's laughing. I'll be tickling Hassan, and Zion's laughing.
It's so crazy. Like, having identical twins is definitely a blessing.
And then sometimes they do the same thing at the same time. Yesterday they was screaming. That's another thing about them. When they scream, it's not one baby screaming. You got two babies screaming. Like, they were screaming in harmony, you know, together yesterday. You know? Yeah.
Like earlier, Amir said something, and both of them turned their head at the same time, and then just was looking at Amir. Yeah. It was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, one thing about having twins as well is you get stopped. Like, no matter where you are, people ask questions. They're like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. We have good conversations with people. People like, oh my gosh, I'm an identical twin too.
That's the crazy thing. We never ran into identical twins. Now that we got twins, just about every other person we run into is a twin.
But, okay, I do have 4 sets of twins in my family. But our twins are the only identical twins. So it has us stand out a little bit. But people will stop you left and right asking you questions about the twins. But we take it as a blessing, because one thing about us, we talk to anybody. No matter what, you know, that we always run into the nicest people. What else could we say? Okay, so now they're actually sharing the tub together. When they were younger, they weren't sharing the tub together because, you know, they had to be in the baby bath. But they love being in the bath together. They'll sit there, be playing with toys. As you guys can probably hear them now in the background.
In the background screaming.
Watching Coco Melon.
Oh, Coco Melon is a lifesaver.
That's a lifesaver. That's our babysitter.
If you have kids, I recommend you put Coco Melon on. It's crazy how I discovered it. You know, one day they were just screaming and acting up and all that. I was like, man, let me find something for them. And I just turned on, something just told me, I just turned on Netflix and found that. I was like, this look good. As soon as I put it on, they started smiling and singing and moving.
Hassan's always pointing at the TV like,
yeah, trying to tell us to put it on.
Yes,
that's how he tells you to put it on. He points to the TV and be like, That's how he tells you to put it on.
What he wants you to put on.
Right. So yeah, they love Coco Melon, and Coco Melon is a lifesaver because it will get them quiet. You walk away, next thing you know, you come back, they sleep. You know. So I know another thing that we could talk about. People probably think it's expensive with the clothes when it comes to twins because you got to buy 2 of each.
It can be because one thing about our twins, it seemed like we overbuy. I feel like sometimes because either like outfits our kids have never worn. They grow out of them so fast, and then it's just like when you're buying, you think, oh, they need this, they need this, they need this, but time passes you by so quick that, you know, you think you need it, but you don't. And then Amir, we still have a lot of his things when he was a baby, so we kind of passed them down to the twins, so that helps us. But yes, it can be, you know, very expensive.
Depending on what you buy. Sometimes it's not as that expensive as you think.
Right.
Because like she said, you know, we always finding deals and you know, getting more for our money.
But when you're buying for 2, it does kind of like, you know, add up a little bit because you're buying 2 car seats. You're buying a double stroller.
That's different. Yeah. I say I'm talking about clothes, but when you want to talk about
equipment,
when you want to talk about the car seats and all that, that's twice as much.
Right, because we just actually there's transitioning from their other seat to a bigger seat now.
Right.
So, I'm trying to think about what else.
When you take them out, like at a men's karate sometimes, you know, how they both be throwing a fit in karate.
Out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you're trying to calm one down and give one Cheerios, and then the other one to start. And then sometimes, you know, people
throwing bottles out. They throw the bottles out the seat, you know.
Zion today, he always takes his pants off, and and that boy does not like pants. But then Hassan, he don't care, you know. It's just like, I'm trying to see what else can we.
Some people will say it's hard, and it is. I'm not gonna hold you. It is kind of hard, but at the same time, it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
You have double the trouble, double the love, double the fun.
Right.
You know, and
even still to this day, I look and I be like, dang, I can't believe I have twins. Even,
all the time.
Yeah. Even to this day, you know.
So I think the same thing. I'm like, dang, we got twins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I hear some stories of people who have like 2 and 3 sets of twins. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because, I mean, 1 set of twins is good enough for us.
Right.
But, let's see. What else can we talk about as far as the twins? They were born 2 months early because Zion had his cord wrapped around his neck twice. Mm-hmm. So that's what caused them to come early.
Mm-hmm. We kind of had a feeling they was going to come early, too.
Yes, because I had no more room, guys. When I tell you I had no more room.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
Wheelchair bound.
We went for a tour the day before the babies was born.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, she was the only one who had to ride in the wheelchair.
But I was the only one having twins.
Yeah, true indeed. That's true.
And as you see, I'm small.
Right.
Yes, as you see.
She's so small, and it literally looked like she was about to pop. Like, she couldn't even hold them no more. Mm-mm. So she had to deliver them. You know, if it wasn't one problem, it probably would have been another. Mm-hmm. Because you were so small, and it looked like it was no more room.
Right. And I think, they were running out of room.
Right.
Because imagine if both of the twins were the same weight. Because Hassan has always been 2 pounds bigger than Zion. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't imagine having them both the same size.
Right.
Honestly.
And it's crazy because we happened to switch hospitals that day. Because the one that we was dealing with before, which was closer to our house, we was done with that stage of her. You was going into a different trimester, right? So you was getting closer, so you had to go to the one downtown. Right.
We switched to that one because they were more experienced. They were a larger hospital that could take care. Like the NICU was one of the number 1 NICUs.
Well, I'm talking about before you delivered the baby. I'm talking about when you did the ultrasound, doing the ultrasound.
Yeah, we switched there because that's the hospital that the doctor delivered at. So we had to go where she delivered.
Right.
But we wasn't happy at the other one. That was our whole point of switching.
We was happy. We had a good doctor.
No,
there.
I'm talking about the first place that was near our house that we did it.
Oh, yeah.
We had to. We were advised to switch to somewhere that.
Yeah, I didn't like that place. They was money hungry. They was trying to, get us some money. But that's a different story. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's a good thing we switched that week because when she was there getting the ultrasound, the doctor looked and he was like, yeah, you need to go to the hospital right now. Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing the hospital was literally right next door to where she was having the ultrasound.
Emergency C-section.
Right.
Because if we were still at the other hospital, Zion,
we would have had to rush all the way across town. We probably
might not have made it. Yeah, because his cord was wrapped. It was no blood flow. He had no
oxygen
blood flowing to him.
Yeah, no oxygen flow because the cord was wrapped around his neck. So they had to do an emergency C-section. Mm-hmm. When they looked in the ultrasound, they seen that the cord was wrapped around his neck.
So Zion, little Zaza, he is truly our miracle baby because, by God's grace, everything worked out. Now they're 1 year old. They're, a bundle of joy. Keeping us going. All right, guys. So I guess this is the end of this video. We will do another video. We actually gonna have, a bigger video that we have already in mind. But until then, this is the end of this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and be on the lookout for more content. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.